Broadcasting from the dazzling, exciting city of Las Vegas, Nevada, Vegas All-Net Radio and Media Guilds International presents the Vegas Voice Actors, featuring the best voice talent, bringing you comedy and interviews. Now, relax and enjoy.
Good evening, all. Welcome to Vegas Voice Actors St. Patrick's Day Special. We're heads and arms today. Woo! Everybody say hi. Hi. Yes, our St. Patrick's Day Special. St. Patrick's Day is just around the corner, March 17th. One day away for our friends on the other side of the Atlantic. I am Varius Kidd, and with me today is the lovely and lively Monika Adams. Good to see you.
Good evening.
Hi, Mrs. What's the crack? I heard you were in Florida.
I was in Florida. Yes, I was just recently visiting me parents and got a tour of, we literally did a quick walk around the World Showcase at Epcot so that I could be taken through the shops that my father designed. He worked at Disney for 40 years.
Nice.
And yes, so the original, I should say, the signature Disney store at downtown Disney in Epcot, or I should say in Florida, was completely designed by my father.
Excellent.
Yeah, yeah.
And very
all
impressive.
self-taught. Amazing. Yes, I was down there doing that, and then we were herding the animals, attempting to. It's a little hard when he's throwing food out to feed the 20-plus raccoons that come every evening. Pitter-patter through the dog door onto the porch to peek into the window, into the family room. Yeah.
Really?
Don't get me started on the chickens, and we had to get 4 new baby chicks.
Oh.
Yeah, the cats, 2 of which are pregnant. The pigeon.
It's a whole zoo.
It's yeah. But they're happy. It gives them meaning and purpose, and isn't that what we all need?
Yes.
A reason for being. Right?
Yes.
I know. So what have you been up to lately?
Me? Recently I took a hike up to the sheep range.
Sheep range?
Yes, pretty much. It's a range of mountains, actually.
With sheep?
Yeah. Well, yes.
Okay. All right. I would assume there's sheep if they call it the sheep range.
Yes.
Okay.
You don't see them very often, but
okay.
What we did, we took a hidden forest trail to the hidden cabin.
Okay.
So, hidden cabin in a hidden forest.
Okay, but you found it.
We did.
So it's not really hidden.
The second time we found it.
You couldn't find it the first time because it was hidden.
It was hidden.
Okay, just checking. Just checking.
A grueling 5.5 miles.
One way?
Just one way, I
Wow.
believe.
Okay, that's grueling.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay. And was it worth the trip?
Oh, yes, it was.
But no sheep?
No sheep.
Okay.
But we did get snow the second day.
Oh, my gosh.
Woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Snow 3 feet deep.
Okay, that's way too much snow.
And we have to hike it back the same day.
Okay, oy vey. Yeah, no thank you. And no snowshoes?
No snowshoes. None.
Okay, so you were blazing a trail.
Yes.
One step at a time.
Yes.
In the snow. Yeah, no thank you. That's okay.
Yeah, we had to try to remember everything on the way up, going backwards.
Oh, wow, that's
So-
right. Okay, because you were in the hidden cave area where on the Sheep Mountain Trail.
Yes, we were on Hidden Forest Trail, and we were looking around, of course, and you remember things as you're going up, and then you have to remember all of those things backwards to get back to your car.
Okay, and did you make it back okay? You didn't take too many, you didn't zig when you were supposed to zag?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
I am alive and well.
Okay, good. Very cool. That's exciting. I know you enjoy going on hikes, so awesome. Well done. I'm glad you made it back.
I'm pumped.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yes.
Awesome.
And also, for all of these amazing scripts that we got tonight, the first one being Michael LaFlanagan's Wake by Rick Bindhammer.
Rick!
Set yourself down, bonny lasses and laddies, and I'll be telling you the tale of Michael O'Flanagan's Wake. It all started 20 years ago. Michael woke up at the crack of dawn to gentle rocking of the sound of morning birds chirping. He raised his head, opened an eye, and looked about him.
Oh, glory be. How did I get myself in this boat?
Aye, that be so, for to his wonder and amazement, he was floating in the middle of Loch Lillian, in Killarney, with the purple mountains behind him. Then all of a sudden, his senses came to their senses and gave him their 2 cents.
Aye! Oh, that be so. Oh, my ears be ringing like a church bell. Oh, the sun be burning me eyes. And some hellish demons be pinging on my head with pickaxes, something fierce. Oh, have mercy on the poor soul.
But mercy was elsewhere that day with troubles of her own. So gingerly Michael rowed himself ashore.
Hallelujah. Now I've got to get myself home.
And that he did. Or tried, we should say. He got himself near Ardolaig when he thought himself wise to wash himself in the Tork waterfalls. He took off his clothes and leapt into the waters, which were much colder in the early morning than after a warm summer day.
Oh, 'tis colder than a witch's nibs. Here now! Get away from that, you multi-gander!
You see, while mice goes bathing, a ghost took a hold of his knickers and off she flew.
I'll never manage to explain that to Maggie.
Maggie being Michael's wife of 15 years. So he finishes up his bath, struggles on his clothes. Mind you, lacking a towel to dry, it's a bit difficult to slide clothes on over wet skin, don't you know? And up the road he goes, past Muckross Manor, through Gortagulain to the wee shire of Coolo.
Sure now, a lucky lad I am. The sun's not up and the fog's still in. I'll just slip me in the door and the missus will think I was home after she went to bed.
He was almost home free when it hit him.
Oh, blimey! Oh!
It being the wooden rolling pin flung by the hand of his bonny bride Maggie.
Where have you been all night, you lying weasel?
I haven't said 3 words and you're already calling me a liar.
That's on account I've known you for 20 years. You'll be lying soon enough, so you may as well admit it.
I got up early and went fishing on Loch Lillian.
Did you now? And why would you go all the way to Killarney when you have Lough Catane nearly a mile from the door?
Because the fish all know me here. I can't use my best tricks on them.
Is that so? Well, if you went fishing, where's your pole? Why haven't you any fish? And pray tell, why are you dripping water on my clean floor?
That's exactly what the fish would expect. A man with a pole now, isn't it now? That's why I used my noggin.
For bait?
No, I smarted them I did. I used my knickers.
You've lost your mind.
Nay, lass, give it a listen. I thunk it over well, and it come to me. I took off my knickers, cleverly planning to use them to scoop the fish.
Spying his trousers clinging to the wetness beneath, Maggie saw for true Michael wasn't wearing any knickers. So she reached down for a frying pan. Let me tell you now, Maggie's a ginger, and when Michael saw her hair looking redder and her milky skin doing the same, he knew he needed to be thinking quick.
Now hear me out, woman, before you be judging me unfairly. There I was in the boat when I spied the fish all around me, some bigger than me arm. That's when genius come to me. I removed my knickers and stuck 'em in the water to catch the fish like a net. All of a sudden, 2 monstrous gar leapt into me shorts and caught 1 in each legging holes of my knickers. They hit it with such force it tossed me into the water. Fought them I did. Their snapping jaws and beat me with their tails until I tried to murder me by diving deep. I ran out of breath and I had to let 'em go. I swam back up to the surface and took myself home to fetch a gaff and more knickers. That's the truth of it, and if I be laying, pray the dear Lord give us a sign.
And that is when Michael O'Flanagan's knickers fell from the sky right on top his clasped hands. Some say flames leapt from Maggie's head, lightning shot out of her eyes. None saw from whence the knickers fell, nor heard the honks of a goose flying away. Too entranced watching Maggie's tumultuous indignation were they.
Liar!
Oh.
Blasphemer!
Oh.
Heaven has judged you and found you wanton.
With that Maggie O'Flanagan been again hurling her cherished cast iron to cookware after her fearful husband as he ducked and ran for dear life under the onslaught.
Aye, on some liane I bet you were. On her, off her, all night you sinner, and left your knickers behind. You're going to hell, Michael O'Flanagan, and I'm gonna speed you on your way.
Ne'er had Michael run so far in fleet, for redhead and anger is not to be trifled with. and never when they turned into fire-breathing demons. Over here and Dale, all the way to McCroris Road, where he stopped for breath, only to be waylaid by an angry ox, pulling a wagon load of Bushmills whiskey. The cantankerous beast flipped Michael onto its back, over its sleeping driver, head first into a pile of hogsheads. Michael tried to save himself by grabbing a cast, but continued off the back of the truck, onto the road where another barrel came square down, breaking over his head like an oversized hat. And down he went, drinking and drowning and drinking, only later to be found by Killarney's finest.
Who'll be that lying in the street?
Heavens, I know the cut of that jacket. 'Tis Michael O'Flanagan.
What's that he got clasps to his chest, Constable?
Why, it's a hogshead of Bushmills, and there'd be another atop his head.
Oh, that's some fine spirits indeed. What should we be doing about it?
The whiskey or Michael?
Both.
Well, perhaps we should start by removing that wooden hat he'd be sporting.
The constables removed the keg from Michael's head and eyed him over.
I swear, I've never seen Michael with a bigger smile on it across his face.
Rather creepy it is. Do you think he's dead?
I don't rightly know.
Oh, smells awful, he does.
Pshaw, he always smells that way. Let's haul him up and take him to Doc Pritchard.
The two officers reached down to remove the second barrel from Michael's hands, to no avail.
He's got a death grip on that whiskey.
Nay, don't say that. I don't want to truck it with the dead man.
You pick him up by the armpits, I'll be getting his legs.
And so they did, and before long they found themselves at the good doctor's cottage.
Top of the morning, officers. What have you there?
Poor Michael O'Flanagan, we found him in the street with the hogshead stuck on his own. Could you be having a look at him?
Aye, put him down and let's have a look. Who and take charge of that barrel?
We tried, but he's got a death grip on it, he does.
That he does? Well, leave it be and I'll examine him. Bushmills, huh? Did he have that foolish grin on him when you found him?
Aye.
Could you do something about that? It's a bit unnerving.
Oh, if the regger set in, it might as well be stone.
Oh, so is he dead, Doc?
Only in a certain manner, dead drunk he is.
What should we do with him?
Oh, take him home to his family. There's not else can be done from now. You can use me carter on the side so long as you bring it back by tomorrow.
Oh, I was afraid you'd be saying that.
Aye, thank you, Doctor. We'll be fetching him home.
They loaded Michael, body and barrel in the cart, and off they went, past Dromedic all the way to Coolrow, and almost reached his cottage when they heard a terrible caterwauling that sent shivers up their spines and speed to their feet.
Where are ye, ye black-hearted dog?
Hey! It's the cry of the banshee, coming for Michael's soul.
Yonder's his house, quickly.
Lickety-split, they were pounding on the door.
Let us in. The banshee's nearly upon us. There it is again.
Let us, you best come around, you toss, you gawk.
That's not a banshee, you silly gits. It's 'tis old Tally's Scottish wife. What have you there? Oh, heaven help us. It's me poor forsaken husband.
Aye, we took him to Doc Pritchard. He said Michael was dead.
When I find you, you besotted idiot, I'll peel out your lugs.
Nay, me bonny lad's been taken from me.
Maggie began to wail. Their children came in, and soon the crying was heartbreaking. This hullabaloo drew the neighbours nigh. Maggie told them about Michael's demise, and there was no else to do but to give him a good proper wake. Their duty done, the two paddies tipped their hats in respect and went off to return Doc Pritchard's cart. The women folk took to comforting the family and preparing for the affair. The men sent a wagon to fetch the ale, whilst the rest of the men took the bed chest, set it in the shed on trestles, and bearing Michael's body, barrow still tight in his grip, lay him inside. 'Twas to be an open casket service, not to fit tradition, but because that whiskey barrel, they couldn't shut the lid. Friends and family came from all over, and Michael Flanagan's wake carried on for 3 days, with speeches and praying, wailing and singing, when on the third night the ale ran out. Harry Harrigan got himself the brilliant idea to tap that barrel Bushmill sitting on the chest of Michael Flanagan's chest for a final toast. Sure now, a few wondered if it would be bad luck, but Harrigan was a reasoner and told them,
"What would be truly bad luck is for Michael's ghost to serve eternity with a cask of Ireland's finest whiskey mere inches from his lips that could never be tapped nor tasted.
Harry's razor won them over, and they made quick work of it, being careful to limit the spillage to scant few drops. Each of the participants were given a shot. It seemed only fitting to set one aside for their host. One after another, they all gave their best Irish toast, until but one reveller tearfully was moved to speak.
May the saints preserve you all. I'm touched by your fine loving words. God is my witness, I wish I weren't dead, and to be buried tomorrow. I love every one of you tonight, and I go to my grave with a smile on my face and tears in my eyes.
Amen.
Dead I may be, but we'll mind us this last night together for eternity. Now let's bury me before I change my mind.
They all cried anew as Michael climbed back into his coffin. His friends placed that cherished cask of whiskey into his hands. Then they closed the lid as best they could, picked it up gently, and sang a dirge as they made way for his final repose.
Stop! Have you all lost your minds? Michael O'Flanagan is alive, you foolish twits!
I'll mind you, woman. Keep a civil tongue in your head for me mourners.
But Maggie had broken the spell. It took a couple hours till Michael was finally convinced he was still living. Then Maggie and their children surrounded Michael and hugged the stuffings out of him. Then Maggie grabbed his face, kissed him severely, and gave him a slap aside the head for scaring her so. Michael shared the contents of his burial cask with his joyous company, while a wagon was sent to Killarney for another load of ale to celebrate the miracle of Michael O'Flanagan's wake.
Well done. Yes.
all
Way to
right.
go, Michael. Yeah, playing
that.
dead, playing possum. I'm sure some people in here have probably done that before, huh? All right, so now we have a few Irish jokes. Enjoy. First one.
One day an Englishman, an Irishman, and a Scotsman walked into a pub together, and each bought a pint of Guinness. Just as they were about to enjoy their creamy beverage, 3 flies landed in each of their pints and were stuck on the thick head. The Englishman pushed his beer away in disgust. The Scotsman fished the fly out of his beer and kept drinking as if nothing had happened. The Irishman, too, picked the fly up out of his drink, held it over the bear, and started yelling, "Spit it out! Spit it out! Spit it out, you bastard!"
All right, Nick Flaherty had supped more Guinness than enough and stumbled out of Queen's Bar into a Sunday afternoon air. His drunken eyes squinted to adjust to the light. An ambulance went by at great speed. Blue lights a-flashing and sirens a-blaring. It roared up the street with Nick in full flight running after it. 100 yards, 200, 300, almost a quarter of a mile he tracked until suddenly, lugs and legs give out, he fell into the gutter. Then, with his very last ounce of breath, he roared, "You can keep your damn ice cream."
A blonde is overweight, so her doctor puts her on a diet. "I want you to eat regularly for 2 days," he tells her. "Then skip a day and repeat the procedure for 2 weeks. The next time I see you, you'll have lost at least 5 pounds. When the blonde returns, she's lost nearly 4 stone. "Why, that's amazing," the doctor says. "Did you follow my instructions?" The blonde nods. "I'll tell you, though, I thought I was going to drop dead that third day." "From hunger, you mean?" asks the doctor. "No," replies the blonde. "From skipping."
Oh, nice. Hey, stop making fun of the blondes, even the Irish blondes, for Pete's sake.
I can't
All right,
be a blonde.
all
done it.
this talking about drinking, you know, it's time for us to wet our whistles for just a moment. So enjoy this commercial break by our sponsors, and we'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Woo!
Welcome back to Vegas Voice Actors by Media Guilds International on Vegas All Net Radio. We have an exciting segment beginning here on Vegas Voice Actors. We'd like to, not spotlight. We're going to introduce a new script. Brian in the Pot of Gold. Ready, 1, 2, 3.
This is the story of Brian and the Pot of Gold. Brian, a young Irish lad, was quite worried because his mother and father were seriously ill. His small job sweeping at the pub hardly brought in enough money to sustain the small family. So Brian did a lot of dreaming.
It's time for bed. What can I dream about tonight? Maybe I'll dream about the lottery.
Soon, Brian was fast asleep, with lottery numbers floating through his dream state. His sleep was interrupted when he heard a voice.
Brian, wake up. Wake up, me boy.
I don't want to wake up yet. I'm selecting the numbers. Who is it?
That's me, your personal leprechaun.
My personal leprechaun? How come I've never seen you before?
Because you've never needed me before, but surely you could use a leprechaun friend now. Hurry up, let's go. We've got to find that pot of gold before someone else gets to it.
A pot of gold? I didn't think about that. Sounds too impossible.
Not nonsense, me boy. Nothing is impossible if you have a pure heart.
Father Patrick says to have a pure heart, you have to go to confession.
So, do you?
I don't have anything to confess, but I pray. I pray for my mother and my dad to recover.
You're doing the right thing, lad, but a pot of gold can help a great deal. But first, we need special guidance.
Special guidance from where? I thought you had all the answers.
Yes, I do have a lot of answers, but this time we need help. Finding pot of gold gets more difficult these days, so I need to find the Rainbow Fairy.
So Brian and the leprechaun went in search of the Rainbow Fairy. They looked under toadstools and on rose petals, but no Rainbow Fairy.
I'm tired. Maybe there is no Rainbow Fairy.
Brian, me lad, she's as real as I am. You see, to find a pot of gold, there must be rain, and rain is followed by a rainbow, and at the end of the rainbow, there is...
A pot of gold?
Yes, so guess who knows what these special rainbows are?
The Rainbow Fairy?
Did I hear someone call my name?
Oh, it's about time. Brian and I have looked everywhere for you. Where you been?
Oh, here and there. So many people want a pot of gold. They're running me ragged.
Oh, please. I need that pot of gold. And when I get it, I'll keep it to myself.
Ouch, Brian. I'm sorry to hear that. You seem to be... It has to be a person of pure heart. Not many of those anymore.
Oh, Brian needs help, Rainbow Fairy. He's pure of heart, none pure. He doesn't mean what he said.
If what you say is true, me special pure heart stethoscope will tell me. Brian, open your shirt and let me listen.
All right.
Brian was a little frightened over having heart tested for purity. He thought of his all-slipped tongue he just made and the many confessions with Father Patrick that he skipped because he had nothing but to report. Not to mention his frozen sleep.
I hear a skipped beat. Was that the time you lied about the quick taste of beer you took at the pub?
Oh dear, I forgot about that. I just took a quick sip. Just a sip.
Oops, another skipped beat. This time you kissed Molly Cassidy on the way home from school.
Oh yes, I remember that. Molly Cassidy asked me to.
The worst damage to your heart is your admission that you would keep the entire pot of gold to yourself.
Oh, surely, Rainbow Fairy, you can't be judging young Brian on these innocent, youthful adventures. Besides, he needs help too. He's the suffering of his parents.
The remaining beats are pure. And yes, they're just useful adventures. Keep the gold to yourself. That's selfish, me boy.
Brian, you didn't mean what you said now, did you?
Inside, in the deepest part of his heart and soul, Brian knew he could never be so selfish. Suddenly, the sound of thunder startled Brian and the leprechaun. They broke out into joyous cheers.
Woo! Yay! Hooray!
Brian, your entire heart is pure. So now all we have to do is wait for the rainbow.
And sure enough, there it was. A beautiful rainbow.
Now, Brian, all you have to do is carry the pot of gold home.
There it is, laddie, right at the end of that rainbow.
I can hardly believe it. A pot of gold. Thank you, Rainbow Fairy. And thank you, Leprechaun.
But when Brian turned to hug them, they were gone.
What?
He did manage, however, to drag, push, and pull the pot of gold home.
With the pot of gold, I got the best doctors for my mother and dad. And next week was my 18th birthday, and Molly Cassidy became my bride. Leprechaun and the Rainbow Fairy were my guests. And I forgot to mention that the pot of gold there were hospitals built and help for the poor and shelters for the animals, and
They lived happily ever after.
Oh, how sweet.
yes.
Oh, well done. Well done. Well, keeping in the same vein as the first segment with a little bit of imbibing, now
Yes.
our next sketch, this one written by Rocky, is titled The Leprechaun and the Stoners.
Hey, here we are in Ireland.
So, are we sure we can score some wacky tobacco?
The brochure says the finest hemp rope in the UK comes from Ireland. You know what that means?
They're trashing the finest leaves and books.
Yeah, I also heard there are fairies all over.
Whoa, I don't swing that way, man.
No, I mean magical dudes and dudettes.
Oh, like that little dude in a sparkling green tuxedo, top hat, copping a snooze on that mushroom.
Ooh, you see him too?
Yeah, man.
I thought it was just a touch of old resin.
Looks real to me, man.
Hey, let's catch him. Maybe he'll lay some magic on us and help us score some weedage.
Cool.
Sneak up and grab him.
Ding, 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 ding. All right, Bagora.
Get him.
Oh, I'm trying.
Hands off for a wacky with me, shillelagh.
Out.
Right then.
Ouch. Hey,
Oh, get his cane.
Yeah,
man.
you ruffians.
got it.
Grab his other leg and arm.
Oh, you bastard.
Got him.
He bit me.
Oh, blimey.
We got you now, little dude, and we want a reward.
Aye, let you have me, boyos. You done cut yourself a leprechaun. That be sure. Fair is fair. I suppose now you be wanting me pot of gold.
Sweet. That's what I'm talking about.
Very well.
What's that?
Are you daft? That's me pot of gold.
No, it ain't, dude.
Yeah, we know pot, and that ain't no pot.
What are you talking about?
No, man, that looks like a Halloween cauldron with a bunch of shiny metal. We can't smoke that.
Halloween? Smoke? What are you on about?
That's not cool. Fess up with the good stuff. Medical Mary Jane like you promised.
Yeah, where's the weed, man? We want some grass.
Weed? Grass? What, did you crawl out from under a blarney stone?
No, we want to get stoned.
Sure, gold. And you be asking for weeds and stones? Look around, there's plenty everywhere. You can take all the hot.
Not that kind of weed. We want some Maui Wowie or some California Red Bud.
I don't have nary such a thing.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, totally.
Ah, I see what you be driving at. You be wanting the three wishes. Ah, you drive a hard bargain. What be you wishing for?
The reefer doc says you can get all you want if you have something gnarly.
Yeah, like that Queen Victoria. Smoke it for some minstrel crabs, or you ain't give us that.
I can't give you cramps. My mates would laugh me out of the fairy circle.
How about migraine headaches?
Why on God's green earth would you be wanting that? Nobody wants migraine headaches.
Docs don't get prescriptions if you don't have something hideous.
Oh, you're not getting it from me. The very idea.
You talk funny. Where are you from?
Right here, you're in my backyard.
I thought we were in Ireland.
You are. You know the Emerald Isle, Erin. How are things in Glockamora?
Hey, that was on the list. Give us some Glockamora.
Oh, can I give you Glockamora? It's a place you gets. You cannot be putting a place in your pockets, can you?
No. That other Glocko thing, yeah, where you get cloudy eyes.
Wait a minute. What you be talking about, glaucoma?
Yeah, that's it, dude.
Give us a tiny bit of glaucoma.
Yeah. Well, it's not cramps or headaches. I suppose I could fib to me mates and tell them I tricked you. Fine, glaucoma it is. Whoop.
Whoa, everything's all fuzzy.
Yeah, like a smoke-filled car. Radical.
Two more wishes.
Can it be anything, dude?
Within reason, you can't be wishing for more wishes.
I know. We want bags of infinite brownies.
Yeah, that's good, man.
Absolutely not. I'll not be a traitor to my own kind. We folk are slaves to nobody. Besides, you best not be trifling with brownies. Them folks go to a vicious mainstick for being only 6 inches tall. You piss them off and they knock yours for something fierce.
No, we're talking about mass quantities of Munchables.
Yeah, man. Pastries, pizzas, tacos, and snack chips.
Oh, aye. Smart choice there. You never go hungry. So be it. Poof. These bags be providing you with your heart's desire of any food you be hankering for.
Look, dude! Pork rinds!
Ooh, sweet. Fresh donuts.
And now you find a wish, and then you must be letting me go as promised.
I don't know. What do you think, man?
Let's fire up a fatty and think about
Good idea.
Oh, hey, green dude. You want to hit?
Sure, why not?
Toke.
Ooh, try shotgun.
Oh, I know this taste. It is Hibbit weed. Aye, this is the weed you've been talking about.
Yeah, but we can't take any home with us on the airplane. We'd get busted by the popo.
Yeah, for sure.
Why didn't you say so in the first place? I have connections with the halflings. I can give each of you a temporal pouch like mine. Here's how it works. Now you see it, and now you don't. Now you see it, now you don't. Johnny Longarm will never figure it out.
Whoa, that's sick, dude.
Yeah, wicked cool.
Great. Poof. There you be. We're all settled then.
Yeah, awesome, man.
Ooh, thanks, little dude. Let's go.
Cheerio, boyos. Stupid Americans. They buy that trick every time. Those pouches, use the same dimensional porto. Wait till they load theirs up with, what do they call it? Oh yes, Maui Wowie and California Redbud. And so's I can try all the other varieties they get. I supply them with cheap junk food and trade for their expensive marijuana. And the great thing is, they're always naturally assuming they smoked it all themselves.
We're going to bring Bob back for another little segment of his wonderful flute playing. Come on, Bob. Let's hear something.
I see it's time for a break.
It
Keep
is.
your chin up. We'll be right back with more Vegas Voice Actors by Media Guilds International on VegasAllNetRadio.com.
See you soon. Welcome back, and thank you for joining us this lovely Tuesday evening for Vegas Voice Actors by Media Guilds International. Our next feature is a sketch written by Rocky Bindhammer called The Helpful Husband's Widow.
Mrs. Quinn, it's Father Clerk. I'm here for Connor's eulogy. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Oh, thank you, Father. He always liked and respected you, when I could get him to attend church, that is. As you know, he usually insisted on staying home on the Lord's Day. He always said God intended the Sabbath to be a day of rest, and he wouldn't have it any other way.
Yes, I know, pity that. Oh, well, such as it is, I was hoping we could talk before the services so I could know a little more about him so I could extol on his virtues. I tried talking to his workmates, but they were no help. Called the poor man a lazy bum. Could you shed a little light on what he is normally like?
Oh, certainly. He was always a kind-hearted man to me, my husband was, Father. He used to take pride in how he would help me with the chores around the house. A regular gentleman he was.
What's more like it? Please go on.
For instance, if I was vacuuming, he would always raise up the footrest on his recliner so as I could get underneath it. And if something should fall on the floor, he would kick it towards my direction so I wouldn't have far to walk. I could simply bend over to pick it up.
Oh, seriously?
Oh, yes. And if I were monopolizing the bathroom, my darling would never make a fuss, interrupt or try to rush me. Why, he would simply water my potted plants instead.
Potty now?
That's right. He was always keen on saving money on my household budget as well. If he had to blow his nose or wipe himself, rather than wasting tissue, he would use his soiled socks, knickers, or already worn clothing. Waste not, want not, he was keen on saying.
Oh, Colin. Colin me shocked and amazed, madam.
On laundry days, he would empty up the upstairs, hamper right over the banister onto the downstairs floor. He said it was to save me the trouble of having to go up and down the stairs so often to fetch them. Truly a saint he was.
Oh, yes, a saint.
Oh, and whensoever he finished eating a meal, he would always stack his glass or cup, any utensils and other dishes on top of his plate, and even use it as an ashtray for his post-repast cigars. Said it was to save me from multiple trips to the kitchen for washing up. I can't fault him for that, now can I?
Oh, no, I suppose not.
Smart as a whip the old man was. On my birthdays and our anniversaries, he always bestowed upon me some labour-saving appliance or device, or upgraded an old one with a newer model. Always stated he, sir, no use to be throwing away good money on unnecessary frills or childish and useless tokens of affection such as flowers, dainties or candy, as some love-struck fools might do.
Oh, so how did Connor pass away, Mrs. Gwynn?
Oh, drowned as he was bathing, Connor did. The coroner says he must have fallen asleep.
Oh, terrible. How terrible it must have been for you to walk in upon him in such a state.
Oh, and weren't nary a surprise to me, Father.
It wasn't.
Oh, dear Lord, no. Seeing I was with him the entire time. You see, Father, Connor likes me to massage his feet for him before shampooing his hair. Why, he didn't put up hardly no struggle at all when I pushed his head under to rinse away the soap for a few minutes. Which puts me a mind to ask, Father, you do believe in the sanctity of confessionals, don't you? And I trust that this will go no farther. Am I right?
Aye, that be true, Mrs. Quinn, that be true. I suppose you've suffered enough.
Aye.
Nice. Nice. Massage his feet and shampoo his hair.
She's
Serious?
a superwoman.
Oh, yeah, wow. I'm
Just
glad.
a little dippity-doo,
I'm
ya?
so glad
you
he
deserve it.
drowned in the tub. Thank you very much. All right, we now are going to have a beef brisket recipe from Miss Beth Toy. Take it away, my dear.
For those who want to cook. Rinse the beef brisket under cold water and place in a large pot. Add enough water to cover the roast by 6 inches. Peel the onions and place them in a pot with the roast. Bring to a boil and cook for about 30 minutes at a rolling boil. Reduce heat to medium-low so that the water is at a gentle boil. Cover and cook for about 3.5 hours. Next, remove the lid from the brisket. Remove onions and cut into wedges. Return them to the pot. Add carrots to the pot and then the cabbage over the roast. Then, place the potatoes on top of the cabbage. Place the lid back on the pot and cook for about another 30 minutes or until the potatoes are tender. The potatoes should be immersed in the water by now, but if not, keep the lid on so they can steam. Remove the vegetables from the pot and place in a separate serving bowl. Keep the corned beef in a pot until ready to slice and serve because it does dry out quickly.
I find it interesting that she's the one who does the recipe, who was also a stoner earlier. All right,
They make the
okay.
best food,
You
though.
noticed that, right? Huh?
Yes.
That does sound scrumptious, though.
Yes,
All
it
right,
does.
stay tuned. It's time for a short commercial break. We'll be right back with more fun and craziness, heads and hands, with the
Yes.
VegasAllNetRadio.com and the Vegas Voice Actors by Media Guilds International.
Almost done, but we're gonna bring it in with some a few shorts today. Irish sayings.
Thank you. May you always have a clean shirt, a clear conscience, and enough coins in your pocket to buy a pint.
May neighbors respect you, trouble neglect you, the angels protect you, and heaven accept you.
Some cause happiness wherever they go, others whenever they go.
Here's to me, and here's to you, and here's to love and laughter. I'll be true as long as you, and not one moment after.
May you live to be 100 years with 1 extra year to repent.
There is no such thing as bad publicity, except your own obituary.
May you die in bed at 95, shot by a jealous spouse.
Here's to women kisses and to whiskey, amber clear. Not as sweet as a woman's kiss, but a darn sight more sincere.
There are only 2 kinds of people in the world, the Irish and those who wish they were.
Where the tongue slips, it speaks the truth.
May your thoughts be as glad as the shamrocks. May your heart be as light as a song. May each day bring you bright, happy hours that stays with you all the year long.
A good laugh and a long sleep are the 2 best cures.
May the roof above you never fall in, and those gathered beneath never fall out.
If this drowning you're after, don't torment yourself with shallow water.
May misfortune follow you the rest of your life and never catch up.
Lose an hour in the morning, and you'll be looking for it all the day.
Honey is sweet, but don't lick it off a briar.
The older the fiddle, the sweeter the tune.
Better be sparing at first than at last.
Excellent.
Nice.
I like those. You know, all this talk of Ireland and, you know, our specials, St. Patrick's Day, I'm very curious about what it's like in Ireland. I've never been there. Have you been there, Monika?
I did go there years ago, and I ended up having to wear long johns because it was frickin' freezing in November.
So cold. Oh, but we have someone else here who has been there. Patricia.
Yes, I was there probably about 10 years ago, or more than 10 years ago, when I was stationed in Landstuhl, Germany. And I went, and a bunch of the officers' wives, they're just so organized, you know, being in the military. They were saying, oh, you want to go with us? And I was like, of course. Give me a vacation from wintry Germany where, like, the first thing in the morning I have to do is sweep, like, 50 feet of snow and salting. You know, I was like, I need a vacation from that. So we went over there, and it was, I think, it was, like, in the winter time. But instead of the snow, it was very wet and dreary, but it was still pretty. I couldn't believe it. It was, like, some parts of it were green, a lot of it was yellow. But from being from Vegas, I was like, a little bit of green, that's good, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Any bit of green. Any bit of green.
I was like, ooh, it's a jungle out here. So, we flew to Dublin, and we stayed in a very charming hotel. And what I think, the first thing when you think about Ireland and the people and the buildings, it's like the movies, you know, all the buildings, everything's so super cute and clean, and the people are just so nice, you know.
And they speak English, sort of, kind of.
Everywhere I was going in Europe, it was like, oh, do you speak English? Or sprechen Sie English? Or, you know, say habla English. But here, they spoke English. I was all happy.
And very cute.
Oh, very nice. And one of the places we toured was the Guinness Beer Factory.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Where you have a
field trip.
And the beer was dark, and they were showing all these big vats, and and they say the river flows with the Guinness, you know. And of course, when you're done with the tour, you get a free pint. And I was like, wow! I didn't even drink it because I don't drink, but I gave it away, and you know, everybody was happy about that. Yeah.
The beer? You gave it away?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I just want to make sure what you were giving away. Okay, just checking, just checking.
Be careful.
Okay, be careful what you say here, honey. Okay, sorry.
And then while we were there, it just so happens there was a big soccer tournament. So we were surrounded by Irish, and then we were followed by a bunch of Scotsmen, because those Scotsmen are trying to get their thing on with the officers' wives.
Okay. Okay, then did you give it away? Okay, just checking now. Okay, soccer players.
Well,
okay,
I'll
Scots.
tell you
Okay,
this,
sorry.
The Scots, they don't wear It's true. They do not wear anything under it. So
And
they
you
wore
know
it.
this how?
Traditional.
It was a show. Show.
Oh, show.
Oh,
Beer and a show.
So they were giving it away, okay?
Okay, they were giving it away. Yes. Okay.
But I have to say,
I likes the breeze between your knees.
Nice.
and it was a cold, so it was really hard to see.
Oh.
But I have to say, overall, it was just a really wonderful experience. Very beautiful town. I saw a statue of Oscar Wilde. Toured the university. It was just really beautiful. I love Ireland.
Very cool. Did you kiss the Blarney Stone? Didn't do that part.
Well, being that I was a medical laboratory technician, all the bacteria and
She
stuff,
knows all about it.
I walked by it.
Okay. You waved. And you watched everybody else kiss the Blarney Stone.
I'm not into. I wasn't giving it away.
2 for me.
Okay.
Just like, kiss
That's
it again for
okay.
me.
Ireland is beautiful. The people are super friendly, have a great accent, yes, and it is nice and green, even if it is freezing cold in the winter. So thank you very much for
no
sharing that
problem.
with us. Very nice.
Did you know? She mentioned the Guinness Brewery. Did you hear about the drowning there?
No.
Oh yes. Yeah, Dornbury. They found him. He was drowning in a vat. And they tried to save him, but he kept diving back in.
Oh, nice.
Get out of there.
All right, Bob, are you going to grace us with another
Yes, I am.
flautist extravaganza? All right.
I'll hit it whenever you
Take
want.
it away.
Sounds like a real treat.
Bob Winett.
Nice. Thank you
Excellent.
very much, Bob Winett. And we'd like to thank all of the players this evening,
Yes.
all of the heads and arms, or heads and hands. We have Miss Dana Wall Oakley,
Here
Rick
in the back.
Bindhammer, Rocky Bindhammer,
yes. Show yourselves.
Susan Bindhammer,
Yes,
another
the
Bindhammer,
Bindhammers.
Patricia Scholes,
Yes.
Mary Capella, Betty Lagaris, Beth Toy, Varius Kidd.
Thank you very much. And
Monica with a
Adams.
K Adams,
Yes.
no Irish, 100% German.
100%.
And Lawrence, who always makes us
Behind
sound
the board.
so.
There we
Yay!
go.
See, you finally get to see Lawrence.
Yes, you
Awesome.
do.
Well done.
Yes, thank you, everybody. And if you enjoy the show and are entertained, please let us know by going to MediaGuilds.com or VegasAllNetRadio.com. Go to programs, scroll down to the Vegas Voice Actors, click open, and leave your comments. Also, download the show. You can listen to it anytime you want. And we're recording live right now, so
Yes, we are. Yes,
stay
we
tuned
are.
for that.
Looking for those
And
mutates.
there you go. And may your troubles be less, your blessings be more, and nothing but happiness come through your door.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Woohoo! Woohoo!